right there, it's not really that big of an issue.
What? What the fuck?
I discussed making a review with Juke, the J-Man, the JTD Master, the Uke Man, the Milkman himself, and about reviewing Colorthought. And it took me a billion years, way too long to actually do it, because I'm an idiot, basically. Anyways, it's a fantastic video. It's hard to critique it. It's a little hard to critique it. There is some stuff that's not necessarily hard to critique, because it's kind of just in your face that it's like not that it's like bad. It's not like terrible, but it is definitely like a kind of visible issue. And it's kind of like along the same lines of, it's pretty much just like one effect for the most part throughout the entire video, really. But yeah, let's just and it's like sometimes that effect is used really well, used really good, and sometimes it's not so great. But yeah, let's get right into it. Hambxne, Chapter 1, Colorthought by the Juke Man himself. Juke presents another name change. See if he changes another one in the next year. We'll see by his imagination whether he changes it or not. Absolutely love this with the video. Hold on.
No science, no civilization, in fact.
Yeah, I just absolutely love the music, the little documentary kind of like feel, this life and everything, and imagination, all that. Bring the spirit to soar with, the launch, crazy launch, the quick scope, work hard. I can't even review like any of these clips because they're all just so good. Every single clip is just a banger. Alright, so here we are with one of our issues. One thing that could have been done better. I'm assuming Jay initially tried to mask the sniper rifle with the little color effect, but it didn't give him it either didn't really look as good or didn't give him the impact that he really wanted it to have on the sniper. But right here, I definitely think he could have done a better job of decreasing like the brightness, thickness, like the opacity, I'd assume is what it is, of the effect, so it looks a little more fleshed out. Or, one thing too, I think, maybe having a lot of color correction on this video would have helped with the color effects as well, made them look a little more fleshed out and like they belong and don't just stand out like a sore thumb. But yeah, definitely could have done better with the little sniper rifle effect right there. Although it does look really good disappearing. Starts off, super sick fucking clip. See, the effect doesn't really look too bad right there. It looks pretty good. I think the little leading up to it, it looks just a little bit like a blob when it's trying to get to where the sniper actually hits, and then when it kind of like explodes outwards, it looks really good. And I don't know, I think the refreshing part on the soda machine could have been done just a little bit better. Maybe just masking the text. I'm sure he tried that too though, and it just didn't really look too great. Maybe just making the whole blue part of the soda machine just with the effect. I really like it on the Spartan. It looks in that second angle, it looks, or the beginning of that second angle, it looks a little bad. Also, you can see some of the colors coming off of the Spartan's leg right here. It's kind of blurring out. That's definitely not that great. Something I would have really liked to see, I don't know if he would have tried it or not, but I would have really liked to see the little color effect along the sword right there. I think that would have looked really cool. Right there, it's not really that big of an issue.
What? What the fuck?
Alright. So, now we know why Jay really changed his name to Juke. My man's really fucking thought he could activate Project Juke when he made that goddamn effect, huh? He thought he could just juke me out of that shit, huh? You thought I wouldn't see that shit? I'm Detective FI3RY in this bitch. You really thought you could get away with this straight fucking dog meat? I'm actually shook, man. I'm actually shook. You were gonna pick this dog meat up, run away with it and start a new family and a new home, move to a different continent. Nah, 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 nah. Bro, it literally says you were detected trying to pick up the dog meat and run away from it. What made you think you could get away with this shit, boy? Alright, I mean, not regarding necessarily that, but I do wish the snipe shot for that clip had a little more time to it and had more appreciation to it. Also, it wasn't like that terrible considering how fast the cut was on that clip, so it's kind of hard to notice, but you can still notice it a little bit when it starts up. But yeah, I expected better. Like right here, it looks super good on the flowers. Looks super, super, super good on the flowers. And I really liked it right here too, where it got the Spartan a little bit and faded out after the assassination. Right here looks really good with the armor lock effect. Now right here, this is the worst one. This is the worst one. So it starts off not too thick, not insanely bright, and it like curves too. He makes it like have a little curve. It's not just a straight line. So that was really good. A lot of people probably would have just straight lined that bitch. So it was really good right there. But then once it hits the Spartan, it's just like a blob. It's just like a giant blob. um, which really doesn't look that good. Definitely could have made that look a little better, or transparent, whatever. Definitely could have done a lot better on that. Effect on the jetpack jets right there. Zero Trujillo just got online. The man, the myth, the Matman himself. It does get a little thick, I guess, in these little rafters of Countdown. And to see it go into a transition pretty late, I think it would have looked a little better if he had it earlier on in the rafters, not just at the very end as he's transitioning out. Right here, it looks really good with the water and everything. Something he's even told me about that I didn't know was necessarily a mistake of his. I just thought that waterfall went into a river across the canyon because of the effect, right? But it does not. That is just blank space in the canyon. Now, obviously, it looks a lot different than it does compared to the water and everything. It's very thick, and it kind of fades in towards the water too, as you can see. Just very, very distracting. Doesn't look fleshed out or good at all. Although this looks fantastic. This looks amazing. This effect goes really fucking well with any of the Covenant stuff. Any of the Covenant stuff in the game. It looks very, very good with. Yeah, like right here, it's great on the Banshee. The effect is coming off of the Banshee a little bit, like onto the grass and everything, in the little gaps of the Banshee. Definitely could have masked that a bit better for sure. Right here, it looks a lot better than it does in the other angles. You probably felt like you couldn't get away with it in the. Alright, I'm not gonna be that much of a dick. All of that might honestly be it. Maybe he was just like, you know what? I can't get away with it in this angle, but the other angles, or they're far away, it's all good. Yeah, it'll be fine. Not from me, Jay. Not from me. I see everything, even though I have terrible eyesight. I'm basically blind as a bat. Anyways, I really like how the effect slowly leaves after the concussion rifle shot. Really like that. But like, as you can see, like, look at the difference from the Banshee with the effect on it to it without the effect on it. It's just so dark. It is such a dark purple without the effect on it. So I really think color correcting the Banshee to make it much brighter would have benefited a little bit. It's not like a big deal, but I definitely think it would have helped a lot. Really like all this. Love the music, everything. I like the effect on the needler right there. So this is another one of the big ones. Very pretty, very nice, just way too thick, a little too blobby. It also looks a little weird that it kind of like comes off. It's not like on the full side of, I don't even know what to call that thing. It's not a pole, but I don't know what to call it. Vent, shaft, gutter. I don't know. I don't know what that is, man. I do see it's on the lights though, in the back. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but that does look really good on the lights in the back, right next to it. but you know, it's kind of like on the little bolts holding it to the wall, but it's not fully on the and it looks a lot better on the bolts than it does on the rest of it. So yeah, just definitely could have made a better job there, and it looks better on the little vent with the fan or whatever as well. Still a little too thick, but it definitely is like thinner, so it looks better right there. Really liked it on the Spartans right there. Something I would have really liked, it's kind of a nitpicky thing, just for conveyancy, I would have liked to see the effect on the needler right here, just since it was on the needler and that other clip. Looks really good right there with the plasma bolt. Right there, it looked, you know, it wasn't as fleshed out as it could have been. Right there, the effect looks super good. Looks pretty good right there. This is a very bold transition. little too thick and off the exploded Banshee parts. Right here, the 2v2, it is still just super just in your fucking face. Just, I think he should, I think should have outlined the 2v2 like he does with some other text. So here we're coming up on a non-color effect that I think could have done better. I definitely think that melee, that reach melee, so it comes in just fine, but it kind of just looks like it just disappears, right? It like fades out bottom, so it doesn't look too bad, but still it happens so fast that it kind of disappears. I'm assuming that's just because of Reach's melee animations that happens, but slow down the clip of the melee animation to try and like really let it transition out, not just look like it's just disappearing. Right there, I think, you know, it looked pretty good around the scope. Just, you know, same thing, just could have been thinner. So right here on the fusion coil, I do really like how it looks on the fusion coil. However, and with the fusion coil rolling, you know, there's a lot with this fusion coil where the color is just kind of not where it should be. Definitely could have done a better job of that. So right here, you see how dull the ghost is. This definitely could have been like I said with the Banshee, definitely could have color corrected it, made it a little brighter, so the effect looks, you know, more smooth going onto it. Also, right here, the Spartan's ass is completely affected. So you know, JTD just being like, "Yo, that ass though." You know, quite a few just masking errors that could have been fixed throughout this video. Right there at the end with the ghost, I think, you know, it definitely could have been a little thinner with the color. It is very apparent in that last angle of it that it's pretty thick and very bright. I really like it on the Spartan right there. Kind of cool little neat effect. CT doesn't look too bad, but you know, like I said, I'd prefer a lot of the text in this video. Prefer a lot of the text in this video to be outlined. I think it just look a lot better with the effect itself, especially with how, you know, just bright and thick it is. And some of the Spartan dying too actually goes through the text, which doesn't look too fantastic. I do think it was an interesting thought to play on words, to make it CT instead of just Colorthought. So it probably confused people a little bit. It's just kind of random and out there. You know, same thing with the text. Would just like to see it outlined. Super great video. Go check it out if you haven't already. It's a fantastic fucking video. It's amazing. One of my top 5 from last year, and definitely one of my favorites from recent years in general. Great video from both of them. Just, you know, definitely quite a few, not too big of tweaks, but definitely some tweaks could have made that a bit better. If you guys want me to review your montages, just give me your link in the below, message me on Twitter, Xbox, whatever, and I will happily do that for you. Let me know, and peace. Have a nice quarantine.